G'day everybody. Now I want to talk about, now that I've cleared up myself this morning, or should I say this afternoon, I got up after 12 today. Illnesses and people with no illnesses, and how people see people when it comes to illnesses, and how people judge people because of society. It's all connected when it comes to illnesses and sicknesses. Now when I was at my 100%, I was for a little while, and the last time I have been constantly, and I pushed myself too, so I'll talk about it in a minute. When I worked at Arnold's Fruit Market, every day, all the time. I'll talk about the moments when I got crook, and I'll talk about a few other things. And while I was there, people used to get their period, and you hear girls talk about people's getting their period and have to have their time off, and then some girls go, well, they must be wimps. They should have to just put up with the pain, blah, 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 blah. I used to have a friend there, Tracy, that used to like to talk about that. When it comes to headaches, gut aches, everyone has their perception of what that headache feels like. How do you know what headache they've got? Are they using an excuse? See, when you're in a world of facade, that you know that people use excuses, you know everything's not right, and it's all about, like a lawyer, right? It's all about knowing what to say out there. Everyone's a lawyer these days in their own little ways of how they do things. And they'll talk behind people's backs about what they believe. Everyone loves their perceptions of what they're going through. And I believe you shouldn't make any perception until time. See, it takes time to know real things. No matter, do you think you've got an opinion now, it's not really the truth. Time will really tell you everything. If you want to know about what the humans are, we look back in all the recordings and all the things we've done, and it shows you, right? And so you can't run from that, right? And definitely do research. The more we record, the more we research, the more we can look back on to help us learn, or to make us look like an idiot, right? Which is also to help us learn. And so at workplaces, I would get gut aches, I'll get all these things. But what you do is you take Panadol. It's what you do is you have to push yourself. You know, when you go, I don't want to get up in the morning. I've got to do this. Well, I've got a headache. This is not good. I should just go lay down. But you know, there's no one else to do it. You have to get this done. You've got to go pick your kids up in some cases, right? There's no one else to do it. And so you do it. And then when you do it, you know what happens? Then you have people go, well, you can do it, so keep doing it. The human thing these days is if you've done it, that means you can always do it then. Right? And a lot of people do. You'll have truck drivers that go, I'm crook all the time, I go to work. You know, their job's easy. It's not as hard as digging a hole out in the heat. You wouldn't want to do that when you're too crook, right? It depends on what job you are and who you are, and how much you're willing to push for the money and the risk and what you believe you need and you may need, right? And that's why we have jobs and pays that help us do that, right? Besides just the work that you're doing. Everyone's different. Some people are musclier. Work's going to be different to everybody, no matter what work it is. Some learn quicker than others when it comes to office work. You just got to do what you got to do, like a Down syndrome. Down syndrome has to work extra harder just to fit in, to get a license and now they get a basic job. They've got to study hard for that. It's hard for them. And yet they'll get the same pay and everything. And yet if a person with proper brain and all that, they will slack off because it's easy for them. You won't see them work hard, and if they did, would have a beautiful fucking world out there. All right, that's what I like to say to people all the time. My voice is a little shitty today. Is that you hear all these people going, these people should do this, this and that, these disability people, and yet they do. And yet, look at the people who don't have a problem at all. Disability person's keeping up the same job and everything, pushing themselves, gets the same pay, does the same 8 hours, and all they get is, oh, good for you, you can do it with that disease or something. They should get an extra pat on the back, like someone doing 12 hours who was normal, who can easily do it. Yep, I'm fit, I'm going. At the end of the day, I'm way more, that guy looks pretty buck, I've got more hands. That's what I am. We're fitter, you get it? And so I should do more if I want people to make me proud, not because I did 8 hours and I did it just as good as him. Yeah, I'm cool, aren't I? Because that's how they treat themselves. They think they're all so top shit, normal sick people these days with no problems, and think they can slack off and everyone else has to work harder. That's not fair, is it? But that's what you see out there. And those ones bullying everyone else by not working hard enough and think they know. Right? You know, you can tell a liar out over time. You look at all the clips and you go, oh yeah, here we go. They lied here, they did this, here, right? A liar will also get caught out like, oh, I can't go to work like a kid. And the next minute, they're doing it for themselves somewhere else. And then when they do that, that could be, they might be pushing it for themselves, or they're just being an asshole. Over time and getting to know people, right, and their family and all the rest, you'll find out these things. Right? Don't make a judgment. Always make a judgment over time. You'll be more right at it. Right? You can give them with questions and go, what's this, what's that? Always make sure you got that. And you got backup of what you believe, why you said what you said, not just assuming it. Right? When it comes to certain areas, you can just assume things if you don't know people, as long as you're not going around spreading around. Why do that? Use that board. I hear people doing all the time, talking about other people. He's sick, he's got a headache at work, right? Why do that? Just leave them alone. Unless they really are like that, but a lot of times they're not. There's people having a whinge. What do you reckon? So when it comes to these people, and it comes to anyone trying to have a go at anybody that's sick, try to say that they don't have it and all these things, they need to look deep down in themselves. Right? Think about what motivates you, what gets you going more. If you're healthy in that, well, you should be working harder, right? You should be working harder with that brain. You should be getting a similar pay than everyone else that works hard. But that's a whole different thing. It's a whole big different ballpark. I've thought about that for ages. You think about something, you'll always get the answer. Every time I have a problem, I always get an answer within a week, most of the time. Don't I, Emma? Because or days or hours. Because that's how my brain works. So I've got to figure this out. I'm going to go study it. And if I can do that and there's people more smart than me, then what are they doing, people? They don't have to, because they go to the minimum of what disability can push. And go, we're good. You can't whinge at me. I do easily your work that you push for. So I guess I can slack off. Don't you think that's what they do, people? My voice is also tired because I'm tired. Croaky, sorry, because I'm tired. I had an appointment today and stayed up a little late. When you've got cystic fibrosis, the best way to be healthy, which is a bit weird, it sucks, is to move around, to get going and push yourself. Sit around more when you have CF, you cook more. So then they tell you that you need to do it, but then you don't. You need to get up. It's up to you when you know you need to push yourself. Because if you don't clear those lungs. The more healthy you are, run around, the more you can clear the lungs, the more you can cough. Get those breaths up, move around then. You can sit there and go, and then have the machines to help you. Or you can get up and you can move around. It does a similar thing. If you definitely can, so why not? Otherwise, sit down and let it absorb into you and turn into that. Because that's what happens when you have certain diseases. Huh? And yet we have these bullies around us that want to attack and intimidate us because we're not like them. We get different treatment. You know what I grew up with? My sisters and brothers going, it's not fair that you get lunch orders. It's not fair that you go to Melbourne and get to go to these places when you're at hospital. It's not fair. Well, nothing's fair in life. It's not fair that I have to go there. It's not fair I have to get up and sit in the car. It's not fair I have to be bored in these beds and cop pains. It's not fair. Nothing's fair. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. And all we need to really do is heal, move on. Like I was just telling the practitioner today, it's like I had to get a hobby recently and get into spirituality because I've been crook a lot at home. And when you're bored of TV and you've seen all the docos and shit, what else there to do except talk shit? That's what I do. Try to get a job, try to make money, try to be something. But you can't in this world because there's always someone who can take it and go do it better. And that's nasty. And they'll take it from anything. They'll even take it before you even get noticed. That's how terrible they are. And in that world, what do you get? We get the world we see, people. We are what we put out. Anyway, have a good one and see you later.